Welcome everybody to the Lancescurv show.
Hi.
I have to tell you that there are an abundance of beautiful women out here in Ghana. I don't know what you're wasting your time just thinking about America. These are our sisters here, and they deserve attention. Take it away, my sister.
Now I'm shy, so what do I have to say?
What do you have to say?
So,
No,
my name is Gifty.
Yeah, Gifty. I know a Gifty. She makes movies in America.
Okay, but I don't make movies in America. I'm in Ghana.
Videos here.
I know, right?
You gotta keep that open.
I know, right? So my name is Gifty,
Tell me
and
something about yourself.
okay, what do I need to say? I'm ugly.
No.
And
I did not stop her to make this video because she was ugly. Understand that. She's a beautiful young lady.
No, I'm not. Don't mind him. He's just trying to flatter me. But anyway, thanks
The
for the
eyes
compliment.
don't lie.
Thanks for the compliment. Anyway, so I'm Gifty. I have a degree in business admin and human resources.
But I can see the intelligence on you.
Thank you. That's a lovely compliment.
Yeah, it is.
Thank
and the
you.
class, and the culture, and the dignity.
Thank you.
That's right.
Oh, now I got a lot of dignity this evening. So, and this lovely view. Don't mind the traffic, it's just a traffic light. It moves very fast, so don't worry.
I love it right here.
Yeah, I know, right? The view is really very pretty, and I think you need to try it. Come to Ghana, and I'll give you a tour. I'm not a tour agent, but at least I can spare you small of my time.
Wait a second,
And
I'm a little jealous now because you said you're going to give them a tour, and you see me, you didn't offer me that.
don't worry, I'll offer you later.
All right.
So this is Adenta,
You tell us
and
about.
it's a beautiful city anyway. It's one of the, and we have a pub here called Bond Square. I'm actually doing a shout out for them. They don't know that yet.
Give me
So
shout-outs.
anyway, Bond Square is a very nice place. So you can come and have fun, and it's lovely and it's nice. And you have a lot of beautiful places. We have the West Hill Mall, Accra Mall. Anyway, when you come, I'll give you a tour. We have a recreational center where you do your paintball. I don't know how you guys call it over there. Here it's a paintball. Then we do the gunshots, like the fake bullets and everything, and it's nice. We have the aqua safari. We have the it's a lovely place. So I think I need you guys to come so we can hang out, we can have fun, but you have to be careful. The coronavirus is real, so you have to wear your mask. Don't mind me, I'm not wearing mine because I'm working alone, and you know, right? So this is no, you can't. You have to be careful. And this is a lovely view. See, I told you it's moving, so you see it's not really serious. So it was nice seeing you guys. So bye. See you next time. I'm running home. Bye.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Lancescurv show. I just met the most wonderful young lady. I'm waving to her now. You're going to see her tomorrow. Her name is Gifty, and she's very, very intelligent. And I have to say that with our instincts, and it's like, what are you doing out there, Scurv? You out there picking up women? No, I'm a people person. I meet gentlemen, I meet women, and it's my job that when I see individuals who have a certain spirit, because I'm very good that way, I can kind of download things about them. And this is my gift. I'm not going to say I have the full gift of discernment, because if somebody was to give me the finger or throw a rock at me, I'm mad now, I won't be able to, I'll be so caught up in being carnal. But in my spirit, I saw this young lady walking by, and I came up here just to get a good shot, because I know many people love the good backgrounds. And so I said, okay, instead of me standing up against the wall, and again, this time of the day is usually when I'm at the anthill, right? So I'm gonna put this light on because it's probably gonna get dark, and I know I'm competing with a little bit of the wind out here, so I hope the wind doesn't overtake my voice. And like I said, you can tell a lot about people. And she knew that I had my tripod out. She was walking by, crossing this overpass bridge. And I said, excuse me, young lady, because I know my intention. I'm not gonna sit here and not talk to somebody on a decent level because of other men who have other things on their mind. So she came back, and I introduced myself, and I said, you're a very beautiful young lady. I'd like for you maybe to get on my video with me and say something about Ghana, or introduce yourself or whatever, to bring a little flavor, right? Have camera will travel. Life is an adventure. And you never know when you're at a certain place and at a certain time what's divine to come out of that. Now we have a date tomorrow, a decent date tomorrow. Now, I'll put my hand over here to cover up the wind on the camera. But we have a date tomorrow to meet, to sit down. And now that she sees what I'm all about, she's like, wow, come tomorrow, we'll meet, I'll buy you a drink. Well, I'm like, I don't drink, but maybe a smoothie or something. And we have a lot of conversation to have. And I'm like, wow. And I cut the camera after a while when we had a 10-minute conversation. Phenomenal young lady. And this is what you must do. And my thing is that when you have any kind of social media, it's not just about you. It's my job to bring you to people. It's my job to share my experiences as they happen. And this is a prime example of it. And I'm so glad that I came down here, and it was put in my head as I was down here. I didn't come down here just to come down here. There's a little, I wouldn't say vegan restaurant, but they have, you know, rice with vegetables. There's a certain dish that I like to eat, and I go there and eat. And so I said, well, let me come up here. I said, man, I'm always looking for places to shoot, okay? Not guns, right? But to shoot the videos and stuff. So look at where I am right now. I thought to myself, this would be nice to show the busyness right now. And it would be a nice contrast. So I came up here, and there are people that are walking by as I speak because I'm on the edge. And some people are looking, but I saw her. And when she looked and she kind of looked away, it's something about her that made me call her back. I saw the intelligence, I saw the dignity, I saw the class, I saw something good. And I told her that. I said, listen, if you were out here and hanging out all over your clothes and all your stuff just hanging out, and you looking at me a certain way like you want to run and go to some hotel room with me, I wouldn't have ever reached out to talk to you because I'm not about that. I'm about the real cerebral conversation and sharing the experiences. And so this is what's making me, on my journey here in Ghana, a very wonderful and edifying journey to my life, because there are countless people here. And while you may run into some people who may not be worthy of your time, may not be worthy of your love, may not be worthy of your attention. And this is a lesson I'm gonna say for other people who are watching this, who may not be guys or women who go on YouTube and make videos. It's not just about that. It's about what it is in life. That when you have people who do not appreciate you, there are other people who will appreciate you on sight. You may have a person who is very wealthy or very rich, which wealthy and rich are two different things. But you may have a person who is very wealthy and very rich or whatever, and they see $1,000 on the ground and they just don't pay any mind. But you may have a person who may need that money or see the beauty of it or the power of it and appreciate it and jump down. Not just you're worshiping money, but you see the value of it. The thing is here, this is what it is. You can't make everybody love you. There'll be somebody who hates you no matter what. There are so many people who may want to show you that they don't appreciate you. You may talk to them about enthusiastic plans for your future that you think, oh, this is decent conversation, and they're cutting you off and, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah. What did you say again? You know, people who may be near and dear to you, right? But here you can come and just in passing meet somebody who is so passionate about you and the seeds of greatness that are in you and about what you do. What I'm saying is that never feel that you're shut out of any toxic inner circle. You don't have to be a part of any inner circle that's toxic towards you, because there's a lot of beautiful entities out in the world who will appreciate you for you just as you are. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And so just never find yourself staying in one place where you feel that I can't do anything else or I have to stay here. No. It may be a confidence thing for some, because I've never lacked confidence. I'm sorry. I'm the kind of person that no matter where you drop me, you can drop me in China, you can drop me in Venezuela, you can drop me in Czechoslovakia, you can drop me in Russia. Wherever I go, I'm going to meet people, we're going to laugh, we're going to have a good time. That is my gift and that is my ability. And that is something that I'm so glad the Creator gave me, right? And I'm going to use it. And so this is why on a solo tip out here with my tripod and my camera, my batteries and my hookups, that I can come out here and make some magic with the decent people that are brought to me divinely. Because I know on a certain level that me and my new friend Gifty are going to create a lot of great content and do some wonderful things here in Accra, Ghana, just like so many other people who I've met who you never saw on the camera who might be too shy. In the beginning, she said she was shy, right? But see what happened. She saw what it was all about. Never limit yourself. Never think that somebody else holds the keys to your happiness. Never think that you have to keep trying to validate yourself around others who don't really love you, who show you at every opportunity. And I'm going extreme with this to prove a point, because many people have come to me and said, listen, talk about this, Lance, so I'm talking about it. But never feel that you have to keep giving to someone who never gives you back. That you have to continue, please, give me a hug, when there are other people who love you for who you are, who just can't stop hugging on you. Isn't that a beautiful thing? But you gotta go beyond the narrow scope of where you are. You've got to see that there are clouds, maybe, but there's a sun shining behind those clouds, right? So even when it's a cloudy day, don't say, well, it's just cloudy and the sun will never shine on me. You know, and I've said this before, and I will continue to say this no matter what the topic is, that even though the clouds are there and the sun is not seeing you, and you're not seeing the sun, there are rays specific to you that the sun has for you and only you. There is love out here for me that if it's shut down somewhere else, I can have a good time heart to heart elsewhere, because the energy that is due you and the energy that is due me, right, is going to be for me and only me. It's like a check that comes in your name, but you have it mailed over to somebody else's home. It's got to sit there. Now they can take it and try to cash it and get caught up with a legal situation and incarceration, understood. But understand 99.99% of the time out of 100% that check is for you. Stop whining over. I'm not saying whining in a condescending way. All I'm saying is stop whining over a situation that is divinely and ultimately not going to bring you or enhance the happiness that you already have within, but will take away because of their lack of, or because of their tainted, loveless childhood, or because of the pain that they have inside that they refuse to heal from. You're not here to babysit anybody else. You give, you give, you give. If you're not getting back, you're not getting back. Look to add new people in your life who don't have those idiosyncrasies, who are fresh to the world, who will do and give you what it is that you need, just like you give to them what they need, right? That's a beautiful thing. Look at our relationship with the trees, right? They give us the carbon dioxide. We give them oxygen. They need oxygen. We need oxygen. They need carbon dioxide, right? So they absorb what we give off, and we absorb what they give off. It will be forevermore a mutually beneficial relationship. So we want to have relationships in our life that are like us as humans in relation to the trees. You may have something that you may think is waste to you, but it's valuable to me, right? Whatever the pairing, let it be something that you seek to have healthy relationships in mutually beneficial, in a mutually beneficial fashion, where sometimes even if the person can't be super beneficial to you because they're going through something in life, well, you look out for them, you continue to give. But you don't continue to give to people who are letting you know, I'm not giving to you. Like they know what you need. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be a wife, it could be a husband, but you can't remain in relationships like that. You've got to take yourself out of it and get yours. You got to get what makes you feel happy, what brings you into balance. If I keep knocking a person's door and I thought they were a friend, and I see them peek out the window and they don't care that I see them peeking out the window, and they never open the door, they never call me, they never let me know, hey Lance, I missed you. How have you been doing? What's the project you're working on? You're always doing something exciting. Let me in on that. I may not be into that, but let me know what it's all about, because you're a very interesting person. And I do the same for them. Well, how have you been? I know you do gardening. What's that new plant that you have? I never saw that before. Like, what is it known for? Does it grow fruit? Is it something that you cook for vegetables? Or what is this roll out here? I didn't know that I found out that there was a plant that is used that when you put it amongst the other plants in the garden, it repels other insects from eating even the other plants. It's like, wow, I never knew that. So there's always things to learn instead of sitting up in front of somebody who, they don't like you. They're letting you know you're not part of us. They're letting you know at what point are you going to wake up and say, you know what? I accept this. But don't get mad now when I go out into the world and meet people who love me for me. Because that's what it is. You're not put here to be inside anybody's toxic circle. And this is why there are many people out here who stay in relationships too long because they think that if I keep putting time in with this person, I keep putting time in, they're gonna see what kind of good person I am. No, they don't want to be bothered with you. That's okay, and it's gonna hurt. But you know what? After a time, you're gonna say, wow, I'm sitting here running up behind these toxic people who I can see where they have really ugly spirits. I can see that they have some major issues, and I can see that they're not really happy. They're not really happy. So why am I going to be the one who's going to try to be the sunshine, perpetual sunshine that never ends, and drain yourself out, giving to these people who are going to take from you when they want, but they're going to give you their butt to kick after a while, right? And let you know that, so you wasted your time. So I don't care if you have been friends with these people for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, cut your losses and vibe with people who will give you what you need and will take greatly what they need from you. And the minute that you connect with individuals like that, kindred spirits, those who have an interest, like for me, I like to read, I like good conversation, I like to explore. You know, there are people out here that no matter how much of a big city you put them in, they ain't exploring. They're gonna continue the same rhythms that they did from where they were before. Like, I'm just gonna stay home, go here, stay, you know, and that's cool. But I wanna see, look, I'm a person born and raised in New York City. Doesn't make me any better, but I'm used to the stimulation, but at the same time, I'm also a partial country boy, where I like the excitement. Look at this, I'm out in the city, right? But I love to go up in the country and have peace and tranquility and do my thing and edit and do, you know, all the things in production and come right back out again and just, you know, so we're gonna be on Lancescurv.com and all things Lancescurv, which that might be my name, but that means this family, right? Online family. Those who wanna fall off, run and fall off. There are a lot of people who are interested in coming on, and I'm the one who's making the connection with that, and I'm gonna continue to reach out to all the good people here. And why I say Accra and why I say Ghana is because this is where I will be living, right? And I want to live the rest of my days like this and share the wonderful moments, the introductions, the laughs, the mysteries, the knowledge that I don't know, that I can't sit here and tell you, but I'm not going to let you not get it because I didn't get it, or keep it and try to spit it out like I know everything. No, I don't know everything. I want to learn. Tell me about this. Let's learn together. Let's have some fun. And again, I want you to suggest to me people that I can interview who are here. Suggestions were given to me, but since I'm not mobile as far as driving my own vehicle, that's the next step for me, you know? Other things are being done on one level, and I said after those things I'm looking to get really, it's different out here. And I'll be honest with you, I found out that why you see a lot of used cars out here as well as like brand new spanking new cars is that the dealerships here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I was told, because I have yet to go into a dealership, and probably this week I'm probably going to go in there and get some knowledge and information so that those who are coming out here will know ahead of time. And you see all the motorcycles too, not because they're guys who want to ride a motorcycle, which one just went past me. It's because it's more affordable, but it's very, very dangerous, right? I like the concept of motorcycles, but I don't want to get on one, even though I rode on one with the guy who brought me up here to the Medina area, you know. But I hear that you have like a year to pay for your vehicle. There is no 5-year note. So if you have a car that's $25,000, what if you put $3,000 down and now you have 22? You got to pay 22 off in a year. What about a person who's working and doesn't have it like that? So it's a matter of the haves and the have-nots. Now that is what I was told by several people. And if there's anybody out here in Ghana who knows better, then let me know. Anybody in Ghana who sells vehicles and wants to sell, that's why I said I'm going to get a brand new vehicle. And it's not going to be some $50,000, $60,000, whatever. Like I said, I'll get a Toyota Yaris, a Corolla. There's another vehicle they have that's really nice looking, that's along the, between Corolla and Yaris that, it starts with an A, I forgot. But just to get around, because I don't need to be happy or put my equipment in the back, drive around. I'm not looking to be macking and rolling around, because that is not what I want to have on my head, that kind of pressure to buy this or buy that. I am totally free right now. I'm a free spirit. I do not want debt. I don't want to be saddled down. Look, even still, around my wrist, I usually had that one shiny bracelet. I didn't wear it. I have my very special to me bracelets here, even my necklace, even though it's not anything gold, it's just beads. I'm trying to free myself of everything. I'm trying to free myself of all things that, say for example, that they would say like, trap me and attach me to the world, you know? I want to be free of that. If I had $1 million, I'll still buy that little car, because going back into, not childhood, but yeah, childhood also, I had a thing for tiny cars. When we had the gas crisis in the early 70s, and a lot of the people who had Lincoln Town cars and what's the other one, the Caddies, they had to downsize because it was too much gas. It would cost too much. Then you could only get gas according to the number of your license plate. I remember that, right? I'm telling my years for good now, right? The thing is, that affected me because I saw all these little tiny cars. So I gravitated to those tiny cars, like the Rabbit and the Hondas and stuff, because I was a kid, young teenager. They were like toys to me. It's like, I don't want to buy, look at that grown man's car. I don't want that. Give me that little one. Now I know you're safer in a bigger vehicle, right? When you hit. But now it's like I'm going back to the days of childhood, like I said. And it's not about, and it never really was about my appearance and how I came off to people. But it was like, the main thing for me was like, what it did for me. I like little cars, you know, like a little Yaris, a little Corolla. Corolla's like a Caddy to me, right? So here, with the taxi cabs and the used vehicles that they have, and they use it, there's a bunch of them, maybe you can't single them out, but bottom line is, it's very efficient and you get around. And so when you don't have a vehicle like I don't have right now, to hop in one of those and pay for a kid, be like, man, this is all I need to get around, because it's not about the big car. It's not about the big house. It's about living. Do you have a bedroom to keep the elements off you when it's raining, or when mosquitoes are trying to bite you, or spiders are trying to bite you? That's all I'm concerned with. I'm not concerned with showing out and killing myself on to show out for anybody else. I'm traveling light right now. I gave away most of my clothes before I left America. A lot of the things that I had, I couldn't even wear in Florida because I'm a New Yorker. I had stuff from New York. And even when it got cold in Florida, it was like, okay, I'll wear this for now, but most of the year I wasn't wearing it. Okay, if you had to up and leave from where you are right now, how much of your stuff can you take, and how much of your stuff is important? That's the main thing. How much of your stuff is really important? For me, it's like, when I really look at it, it's not much. When I look at the energies that might be around me that I have to clean house on, let me deal direct with the elements. Let me deal direct with my energy, my personality, and how I relate to the people out here. That's why, I'll say it this way, that's why the Creator made so many different types of people. Nobody has in your life a patent on love or just friendship. You know, there's so many people out here to explore and enjoy, and you can pick and choose your circle. But I'll tell you one thing, when you're happy in your new circles, do not let the old toxic people come back in. Let them stay where they are. Your new world, and like I said, this is why I came out here to really, because there are a lot of toxic people reaching out to me from America that don't pay you no mind there, but they see that your mind is right, you have a fresh start, and you're away from those hierarchies, the secret handshake people, the different cults, the different occultists who come around you to suck your energy or even destroy your mission. And I know, like right now, I've been up every night till like 5 and 6, effortlessly, where I could have stayed up longer, like into the whole day. But why? You know, why limit myself? If you feel good, do it. I'm not saying if anything feels good, do it, because some people take drugs and say it feels good. It's unnatural, it's not a good thing, right? Or just crazy sex, because there are spiritual ramifications with that. But my thing is, if it's something edifying to you in the world around you, like me on this video talking, YouTube is not going to, all YouTube is not going to come to this video because I said some things, but those who are with me here may say, hey, I listened to it, you're a little long-winded, but I got something from what you said. That's what it's all about. I'm seriously, right now in this very moment in front of this camera, I'm having a time of my life. I really am. And after all I've been through in this life, I've been through a lot of pain. And so most people don't want to hear that. Well, I've been through some pain too. We all have been. I'm just reflecting on my life. Coming through pain, being around people who are emotionally unavailable, who should be available, the deception, the scams, the fair weather friends and fair weather families, to know that, and to come to the point for real, that I've told other people this before, but it's on this very day that I truly understood the medicine that I shared with other people wholeheartedly, to say that you're born with you, you live your life with you, and the minute you transition, you will be with you. So why not invest wholeheartedly in you? You don't need anything outside of yourself except to function in a healthy manner and vibrate with the outside world in a healthy manner. But please do not get involved with people who don't want to be with you or around you. They may not want to kill you. They may not, but they show you and disrespect you, even if it's subtly, right? They're not doing anything to whatever, so let them go. And before you actually let them go, you have to let them go a little bit each time in your heart. You have to see that, well, I'm not hating on this person, but I'm backing up. I can't depend on them. I can't look to them. So I'm taking care of myself. I'm packing my emotional bags before you physically go. Now, these are things that were specific. I'm going to hold my hand up because of the wind, and I know the wind is going to kind of get in the microphone right here. But these are things that are asked of me when I always say, listen, answer this question for me, Lance, and just blend it into the other things that you're saying. And I had 3 people recently ask me about that. Like, how do you do it? How do you leave a relationship that you've been in for so long? Well, you have to make a lot of attempts if you want to salvage it. But if in your trying to salvage it, an individual has other individuals whispering in their ear subtly, and you can see the other individual's spirits on them, that this person who you're with is not even that person anymore. They have invisible strings being manipulated through the people who they feel are so nice, but don't want to see them happy. There are people who in your life, you might not even see them. You might just know them from the internet, but they have infiltrated into your world, taken sensitive information from your experiences that you've shared with them and run back to the next person and twist it around, because where they are, their situation is not good. They have no money flow. They're not working. They're looking at your life like, wow, I'm going to break this up. Ah, ha, ha, ha. I'm not going to see these people live the dream. You have people who love to do that. So you know what I say? Cut everybody out. You know what I mean? And so I've had to do that at different points in my life. And when I've done that, it phenomenal results. You have people who just want to stay on to you. It's like a cat that's killing a mouse. The cat ain't hungry, but the cat is going to eat the mouse. But the cat sits there and plays with the mouse, and as soon as the mouse tries to get away, it brings it back. And it keeps messing with it for hours on end until the mouse is laying there limp and spent and tired of this big animal that's over it, playing with it, right? So this is what some people do when they have you in their life. They want your life force. They'll say sometimes good things to you to keep you coming back. But secretly, they enjoy whatever issues that you may have in your life and want to keep you in that instead of saying, I'm a true friend. I want to see you really work things out. I want to see this family or your friendship work out. They don't want to see it work out because they're miserable. And the sad thing about it is they're so good at convincing others who never had relationships with the core group or had relationships with a core group, but they're way out somewhere just saying words. And we have the gullible amongst us who believe those words, where face to face over decades, you can prove your loyalty, you can prove, and I'm speaking very abstract right now because I'm trying to blend a lot of answers into one. And that's where I'm kind of coming from, right? But right now, you can never over cleanse yourself. You must cleanse every single day. You must load shed something in you or on you every single day, because right now, Sister Sheila, I'm going to call you back. I got your message. And she wanted us to speak about things that are evil out in the world. This evil force, this evil thing that you can't see, but you can feel it there. How people out in the world have less sympathy, less love, less patience, the whole world overall. There are very nice people out here, but there's so many people out here who on average, the standard has gone down. And it's not by chance, it's by design. But it's so much of a slow descent that many of us don't see it. Many of us can't detect it because we're so much into the rat race. We're so much into, I gotta get this dollar. I gotta work this next job. I gotta pay this bill. Yeah, just understand. I'm not saying not to pay your bills, but just understand that when you transition, there will be a bill in the mail or scheduled to come to you online that you're just not going to pay. So if you live your life for bills or just money, it's a cycle that never ends. You got to pay for your own funeral, but you won't be here to pay for it. Somebody's going to pay for it, insurance, family, whatever. And just like the other day, when I was in a discussion, we were speaking about how here in Ghana, they will keep a body a month, 2 months on ice so the family can get the money up for a funeral. Who is the funeral for then? The person is dead and gone. On another level, they've transitioned. Why are you preserving them so you can get the money up to show out so the person dealing with the body can get paid? The funeral home, the church, the hall, the food, the music. What is all that for? Who wants that? Give me my roses now. In a minute that I transition, 24 hours should not go by before my body is in that ground. Past 24 hours, what are you keeping me sitting around for? To show out for somebody to have some big ceremony. I should be in the ground before most people even know that I transition. And if it's anything other than that, when that time comes and you happen to be alive, you know that somebody is playing games or playing the money game in my name. I don't want that. I would like to have the honor of taking some plywood and building my own little box to be put in. It's not like my head's gonna hurt if there's no pillow under there and I have you all padded up. It ain't gonna hurt. The box is gonna deteriorate and I'm gonna go right to the soil, you know? That's what it is. So it's what I do in life. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, maybe I'm a redundant. My brother on Instagram, OG Houdini, he had a picture of Muhammad Ali's tombstone, and he on the tombstone all it said was Ali, because you can put 3 letters and you know exactly what that means, right? Because of the life that he lived. So with me, I don't want to have a birth date, a death date, a transition date, and a dash. Let the dash mean something, but I don't want a dash. Just put Lancescurv. Now I know I'm going to have a full African name, but for the most part, people know me as Lancescurv. That's the energy that comes out of that name. And you know, I took the IN, the Scurvin off, and I put it together. Maybe that's what I am. You know, I mean, I know that's what I am. People know me as Lancescurv, no matter how much I changed my name. Look, I've come to a point now, even in recent months, I don't have to go change the outside so much. I know what I am, but there's nothing that hurt me in my former manifestation in America that makes me want to make this drastic change. I knew from young, pretty much coming out of the womb, what this world was all about as my parents raised me, because I had parents and I have parents. I hate this, I said had, but I mean in the present tense, because their bodies may not be upright and around, but the energy is still there. And as long as I'm here, they're here, because they put so much into me. I'm a product of them, so I'm proof. I'm like a receipt. When something goes wrong with the product or whatever, you have a receipt. Well, I'm the receipt of my parents. You see me here, you know that's a proof of purchase. That's telling you something else happened before me for me to come here, right? So that beautiful thing happening is why I have to represent as I try to improve myself incrementally every single day that passes by, right? So I got to represent them. But all I'm saying is that my parents didn't bring me into the world to be under the rule of someone else. I can't do it. I have to think for myself. There are drastic things that I'm going to be talking about soon as my eyes have become open more and more so. That will be the truth according to me. That I evolved from things 10 years ago. I evolved from things 5 years ago. I have evolved from things last year. I have evolved from certain things that I swore was the truth from 4 weeks ago. You gotta understand, we're a work in progress, and I have no problem sharing that. But I'm not one to, when I have an issue with my past or myself or someone else, to douse myself into something so intense and bow my head and say thank you because you're calling me so disciplined, when really I'm running away from pain. And we can take a good thing and beat ourselves over the head with it and have the world applaud us for the discipline we have, but we're not thinking about discipline. We're just trying to put ourselves in so much pain and focus to get away from that thing that hurt us in our childhood. You know? How you doing? Right. That hurt us in our childhood. So you really got to break down and dissect these things, but you have to be still and you have to get away from all things that are not conducive to you becoming better. If it's a fog, if it's a perpetual argument with frenemies or acquaintances or with your spouse, and you're arguing today the same thing you argued 2 years ago, the same thing you argued about 5 years ago, it's not going to get any better. Leave it alone. Build. If I was caught up in a funk of things that may be unresolved 5 years from now in America, that and something just blew in my eye, so I ain't gonna try to be cool and cut this part out. It's reality. But if I was sitting here with my head clogged up in a fog from a situation or argument or disagreement or a falling out that was not resolved, would I be here right now enjoying this day? Would I be here right now to enjoy the light spirit and wonderful persona of a young lady named Gifty, or the other brother I met down the road there? Just nameless people that you may not know, but they'll be on the platform soon. So unclog your filters, change your filters, give yourself a tune-up, put yourself in another environment, and be open to what comes to you when you have a good spirit. So my thing is, a lot of good is coming to me, and that's what I'm focusing on. But if I'm packed up with bad or toxic things, how can the good come to me? And if I'm packed up with toxic things around me that others can see is around me, they're not going to want to come to me. Because that brother, they're looking strange, man. Kind of like, you know, or that sister was looking strange, or the way your buddy greeted me, like they're not interested, you know, they want to keep you away from the new stuff. No. I don't care if you take all my clothes. Let's say something stupid. I don't care if you take all my clothes and say, we know you're not going to go outside because you're going to be naked. Guess what? I'm walking down the street with my tripod naked. Now, I look crazy, but I have to explain why. Right? Right now, like I said, I've had cars all my life. Luxury cars, trucks, vans, sedans, old cars, new cars, hoopties, whatever. I'm into a new country right now, and this is affording me to get on grassroots with what I can do. I don't just look at people, I greet them, I talk with them, I vibe with them, and we get involved. We're human. It's an energy thing. If that young lady thought my energy was not right, and I look mad funny, I got some funny looking shorts and got mosquito bites all over my calves, a t-shirt, but I must be doing something with this out here, right? I must be into something. And she said, yeah, I was kind of curious. You won't hear that part of the conversation, but it is what it is. So it's a beautiful thing. I'm looking forward to sharing a conversation tomorrow that we sit down and have, and I think it's going to be something that's going to be several hours. I will have the mics charged up, and well, it won't be as windy down there. We're going to sit down somewhere and maybe have a drink or something to eat And I want to pick the brains. And if anybody who is there sees the conversation, they can come on in. You have to be able to take what you do to the next level. You don't have to wait for anybody to say, okay, it's time now that you go on the next level. No, you decide. What time limit really is there on success? When you really think about it, what time limit is it on me coming to Africa? I came here and I said, I want to come here, but I'm coming here and bringing my energies. I don't have to be a victim of what is just already here either. I'm not going to be one of those Americans who come here and think I know everything, and I'm going to tell you how to do things when things are already, they're the way they are. I'm not going to change them, but maybe I can bring something to influence something for the better. Not because it's me, but because it's something for the better. And maybe somebody here can show me something that America didn't show me for the better, right? So we can go up higher. If really about going up higher, it doesn't matter where it comes from. But there are those, and again, I go back to answering the question that was asked of me, for those who wanted me to, talk about it. Listen, you have people who, when you bring truth, when you bring clarity, they are not going to accept it because it's you bringing it. But they will come to you later on. When you said it 2 years ago, when you said it 1 year ago, and they're going to come to you, oh, so-and-so said this, I think it's a wonderful idea. And you're like, wait a second, I told you that last year. But you dismissed it because it was me. So there will be people in your inner circle who maybe despise you, or they don't like the fact that you have still a clean burning energy and enthusiasm for life. Because you can tell, you can watch a person's body language, they're just sitting down all clumped over, just staring, just looking all defeated and whatever. Of course they're going to despise you when you're full of enthusiasm and you're an innovator, you have vision and drive and determination, and your filters are clean, and you want to conquer the world in a good way, not conquer and beat it down, but submerge yourself into this energy of the world, right? It's a beautiful thing. Look at the action behind me. There are people who said, Lance, are there mud huts or the houses? Who's a fool who asked me that? Oh, that was in Florida. Is your house on cinder blocks? On stilts? On what? What are you talking about? So there's some people who said, man, you hear horns honking. I'm looking at a lot of luxury cars too. Not that that means anything. But some people are like, they think one little situation in one country in this vast Africa is the whole thing. No, there's toll booths here, restaurants here, airports here, scientists here, people who are brilliant, doctors and different things. You don't need anything anywhere else. But those who are brainwashed with the intoxication that America is everything and they're under their slave masters, well, I mean, they're going to think that. You can't knock them, right? But think for yourself. Really look at what you have to offer the world and understand that those around you might be the ones that are the ones who are keeping you from seeing your promise and seeing the greatness that's inside of you. And sometimes they don't want the world to see what they know is great inside of you. Ever think about that part? I was in a situation where, everybody knows I'm an artist and I draw. There was somebody feverishly looking for somebody to do a little pencil pen sketch in my style of drawing. And they were asking around all these people around me. And all these people who see me damn near every day never said to me, Lance, there's a person almost bugging me on finding an artist. They just never said anything. And so when I was around those other people, and that person who I'm not in direct contact with, they said, Lance, do you know anybody who does artwork, whatever? I said, let me ask you something. Is this something that you're just asking? Because I wanted it as proof so those folks can see it. They said, no, I've asked this one, I asked that one, I asked this one, I asked all these people, like, do they know somebody? I said, okay. So I asked them, I stretched it out. They were all blinking, There are people who, when they know there's something going on, they take the phone and they put their face in the phone. All of a sudden they got a text message. Like, sticking your face in the phone is gonna relieve you of what you did. So they said, yeah, they were asking. So I said to the person, I said, come over here by the computer, let me show you something. Bing! I went to my art page. I said, you see that? They said, wow, that's some good art. Can you hook me up with the person? all the others try to start getting out there. I said, hold on a second. No, you're going to catch this one. Well, who is this person? I said, look at the name right there. Lancescurv. That's you? He said, yeah. And then they turned around and looked at the people. They said, I've been asking you for months. You couldn't tell me. See, I wanted it to work out that way. Because people will do some devious things, or the passive aggressive thing where they will put something out or not put something out and do little slimy, underhanded things of just being quiet, you know? Like there's another group that I know. They get a hookup, an advantage, you know, in some situation where it saves you time, it saves you money, it elevates your status, and they'll work it out amongst themselves and not say nothing to you. But when you have that, they expect you to offer them, like I'm gonna empty out my pockets of every advantage that I have, because I'm thinking of us as a whole. Where they're thinking of like, well, we're a whole, but not you. So you have to learn that you gotta keep things to yourself. Like for example, since you saw the young lady here, that's my friend. I'm not bringing them around any other toxic people to play the games and turn them against you and all this. No. There's a whole big world out here. I'm gonna keep it that way. So therefore, you can't let all the worlds meet. You have to learn how to do that, because there are people who will never introduce you to people who can help you. They want to keep it to themselves. Now the ones who do, sure, when they're proven that way, you know? So be careful who you give your goodness to. You can't give your goodness to everybody. You'll be wasting it. Everybody is not worth investing in. And this is what a lot of us have a problem with, because we all judge the world by the state of our own mind, right? So if we're good and we think there's good in everybody, don't think that person out there is going to think the same thing about you or the world. Some people think everybody's a thief. As good as you are as a person, as pristine and as pure as you are as a person, there are people who think and look at you and will swear you're shady. There are people who have met me, and because they're thuggish in their mentality, and a criminal-minded person, seeing to look what they can get, they're looking at me like, I think Lance is a thug. I think he's a criminal. No, don't call me that, because I'm aware. If I can see certain things in you, a lot of times I see things in people and I don't say anything on it right away. But I know it's in them. So that's what makes it easy for me to make the transition when they show their true selves to the world. But I'm like, I always knew this about that person. So it's no big thing. You're driving down the road. It's 3 lanes on this major road, just like there are 3 lanes here behind me on each side, right? And, well, not 3, just 3 lanes. There's 3 lanes and then a service road. It's almost like Queens Boulevard in Queens, New York. And you see a person who's always hitting their brakes. You see a person who's always tapping their brakes. And you know they're about to stop or turn and not throw a signal. You're driving up, you know to be ready to whip that wheel to the left if you know they're gonna go right. Because you can see their movements broadcast, and you can see their style and how they deal with other drivers, just like you see how people deal with other people and how their lives may be dysfunctional and not healthy. Healthy relationships. Healthy. Look, I got friends of mine, and I'll call them out. Angelo, Carlos, Kevin, Stanley, several others, right? And I knew all of them from the late 60s and early 70s and middle 70s. And many of them know each other. Now, they may not call each other all the time, and you know, we have our responsibilities as older folks, but I walk with them every day of my life. There's not a reason why I don't laugh to myself because of what was put inside of me. From the times that we spent together, they have enhanced my life. I have healthy, long-term relationships. Not like, oh, I go back to New York City and knock the door and say hi. That's not a healthy, long-term relationship, because anything that they may need, I don't care if 6 months went by and we didn't have a chance to pick up the phone. They can come into my home and have free reign over the fridge, or if I have a vehicle, here's the keys. You never feel or should feel that you're ass out. So if you come to Ghana, where I live, you know you have a home. And there are more names on the list. What I'm saying is that, who has that? Why don't we have in 2021 those long-term healthy relationships? It's because so much is so jacked up now. You know, the evil forces have infiltrated our moral compass now, and we've degraded. Like I said earlier on, we degraded. There's something evil over the world, and we've accepted evil as the norm. Why is it like that? Why is it that we accept evil as the norm and why can't we shine out love to those who are worthy of it and say, you know what, world, you want to accept this evil? We're going to keep the happiness and joy amongst those who understand that we must maintain this world, our world. Some people say, I don't want to live in a subdivision. I don't want to live with walls around my house. I didn't come out here to live this way. But I want to maintain the love of those who come to visit me. Whether it's in my city and there is an invisible wall where we stay focused on each other who have that spirit and treat the world nice as they come to you in passing. Or do we just let anybody on in? See, we say these things and we don't understand, like say for example, I've always loved homes with like 7 and 8 foot walls around it. Does it mean I want to be or have a wall and be a hermit? I joke and say I have hermit phases. No, but it's to preserve when I have my real friends coming over. We don't want to see a sorry face symbolically looking at me. No, you don't exist. So it's sad, but the world ain't perfect. But with all this evil out here in the world, we got to treat evil sometimes. We know it's there, but I'm not going to harp on it. No, you don't exist. I control my world. I control the boundaries of how I live. I control these things. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to put up a wall, but at the same time sabotage myself and let every foul spirit of a stray cat who I don't even know come on in because this is how you have to do. No, I don't do that. I'm very guarded that way because I've learned from experience that these things are never beneficial to me. I am not a receptacle. I'm not one who's gonna just take in any old thing just because you say a certain word or you speak a certain way. It ain't gonna happen that way, you know? It's crazy, but I love the breeze up here. I hope the air is not messing things up to the point where you can't hear me, because I think I'm speaking loud enough. But it's a beautiful thing, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you from now, I like this spot. I love the anthill, because the anthill's close to me. But I like this spot also. I really love this spot. If you like this spot, let me know. Now, there are many other spots I'm gonna go to because in transition of going from one place to the next, I'm gonna find little places to shoot. But the people who are walking by, unless they're gonna stop, they're gonna stop. There's enough room for them to go by. And I'm very comfortable because my flow is not interrupted. And I'm out here and I'm looking at the same thing you're seeing, except coming up, you see the bright white lights. And I love the energy and the activity. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of wonderful things here. Now, in closing, again, I said, there's a lot of projects that we're working on and things that we're working on online. And I am very, very happy to have these things at this point of my life to focus on that will be around. Like when I look at articles that I wrote 20 years ago, 18 years ago, 15 years ago, go dig on some of those articles. If you want to see some of them that are old, and you don't have to dig on the site, I'll show you a little trick. Instead of going on Lancescurv.com and digging where they say archives on the bottom, go to the forum and look under the opinion section. And those are a lot of my written words, but they put the old stuff up front, you know, first. And I used to make some comical long titles and stuff like that. A lot of crazy things, you know, that I wrote about. Ella G was in there. She's like, I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you wrote that. And I'm just steady kicking this tripod, but I guess it's okay where it is. But yeah, the light's kicking in nice, and I feel like a nice little niche here. This is real. This background, at least on the camera, looks so good. It looks like it's fake, like I'm in front of a green screen. No, this is real, y'all. Look at that. Oh, but what a view it is. I'm kind of high up here too. But I really like this spot, and I'm gonna come back here again. And I just want to get your feedback on that if you like it too. Now, I have a few obstacles today, setting up certain things, you know, a little short power outage that happened, and I left it that way. So it's like, I know things will be straight when I come back. So I'm not worried about that. So I get to putting up these videos and stuff. So I said, let me come out here and do a walking meditation. And that's what I used to do up in New York City, you know. I used to go through Manhattan, certain parts of Brooklyn, Queens, but mostly Manhattan, and get around the crowds, get around the people. And of course, I wasn't doing this type of stuff, but I kind of understand now that I've been through different experiences, and I was collecting up experiences because I guess the Creator had it for me that, okay, you're going to go through all of these things now, but later on down the line, there's going to be a time when you're going to share these stories and share these things that you've been through. And I'm all for it, and I love it. Man, let me tell you, I can sit out here all night and talk. It's really nice. I started out when everything was bright, and you see the sun go down, and there's like a mountain over there. You see the lights up. It really is so beautiful. And while Ghana doesn't have every single thing that New York City has, I mean Accra, it does in its own way. And there's certain things that, you know, remains to be a little more desired, right? But that's the way it is with any culture. So enjoy it for what it is. But if you don't have the contentment and peace of mind on the inside, if you don't have those things on the inside, you can never enjoy the things that are on the outside. We can have the biggest, best structures here. You can have all the money flowing. But if you're not content on the inside, when you lay your head down at night, it's not worth it at all. So my main thing is inner peace. My main thing is being content with myself. My main thing is not living a life where I'm seeking validation from naysayers who will never give it to me anyway. You know, mixed with your own kind. And unfortunately, your own kind is not just relegated, regulated, right? But you gotta regulate who comes around you too, right? So all my Freudian slips have meaning, but relegated to just your own race. Everything black, African, not just Africans here, we're talking about the whole world, that they may talk the good talk, but it doesn't mean at the end of the day they have a good feeling towards you, right? That don't just give them a pass just because. And I will say it publicly. There have been people of other races who have done me better than some of my own people who I thought were all about the struggle. But evidently it's just something that you wear like a piece of clothing and just throw away when it has no purpose. You know, the funny thing about it is, it didn't hit me, but as I was getting off the Chocho, which is just right down on the other side here, to go to the restaurant and eat my little veggies and rice, that I haven't seen a dashiki in weeks worn by those who were born here. And it made me wonder, like, what is it to be African? What really is it to be African? Is African having all the dashikis and all the jewelry that says, but your expectations to be low of them? Is it something that you wear? Is it a passing fancy? So for some, I'd say, there are many who say they're African, but it's because they have no other choice but to say that they are, because they got the nigga wake up call and they know they can't fit in with the others. There are many who say that they're African, but they're no different than that man who cross-dresses and tries to convince the world or gets a kick out of people in the world who take them as a woman with their size 14 pumps. You know what I mean? So is African the covering, or is it living the principles? There are many Africans who are here who are born and raised in the motherland and speak all the languages here, or most of them, and they don't embrace the qualities that you would think when we say African. We're in America and we say Africa, and we hear the theme song from Roots, and the baby's held up and the righteous whatever. I'm not going to say that doesn't exist, but don't think you're going to come here and see it in abundance. There are those who profess or embrace or say that they're African, but they come here and they run away from everything that may be considered what many would say are advanced. Okay, so does it mean that to be African, you're not supposed to have a nice refrigerator in your house? Does it mean to be African, you gotta live in one room? and go to the bathroom outside? If we say that being African is to have the best because we come from the best and the kings and queens and rulers of the world, where Timbuktu and the university that taught the world and everything was laced in gold or whatnot, what happened? Why can't we have those things, and instead of saying, oh, that's Western society, why can't we have those things that we gave to the world through our brilliance and say, you know what, that's not Western society, that's African. Because we as Africans, we have fed the world. We as Africans, we have given so much that what the world enjoys came from us, so why do we have to be in a mud hole? Why can't we strive to live our best life? Why are we going to be a victim to somebody else's hang-ups who defies African as having nothing? Dusty streets and roads, and I'm not saying that's what's here. There is that here just like it is anywhere else. But why is it that we have convinced, or the colonizer has convinced Africans that Africa is just that? In the esteem of most Africans and many Africans, they don't challenge themselves. They don't seek to go higher. And if they do, they think that it is a Western society thing. No, it's not. You're taking back the mindset of what you always had. But we've been conquered by our mind. And so we have the revolutionaries out here that say, oh, you should shun these things. Yes, we should shun those things that they have become our gods. But if we know how to relate to each other, why not live well while we're here? Why can't we have a nice vehicle? Why is it that we can't have 4 or 5 bathrooms in our house if you have a big house? You just running plumbing. What do we go? I have to go out in the back and be a hole, use a bathroom in a hole? I can do that, and I have done that in my travels across Ghana. Where you go somewhere where there's a little village and there may be some outhouse and there's newspapers there, and you got to squat over a little hole in the ground and wipe yourself with it. There may be flies around. I have no problem with that. But is that African? Or is that a mentality of one who has been stripped of all things, and we accept that lower standard, like we can't go higher? And why would we have that and not seek to improve, to regain what we had from before? I think it looks a little cool if I tilt this over more so you can see the ongoing traffic since the sun is down. The oncoming, well, there's not much of it, so I'll leave it there. I really love that background. You see a little bit of the sky. You see a little bit of traffic going, a little bit of it coming. I got to kind of figure out where I am, so when I come back, like I can take a spray paint, go choop, right on the side and say, oh, there's my mark. I wouldn't do that. You never know who's looking. I'll be locked up and American putting graffiti out, right? But really and truly, we have to try to understand where our perceptions come from. Maybe Western society has convinced us that African is so less that when we come out here, we want to accept less. No, and I'm going to put it out there publicly that I did not come anywhere to live below a certain standard. While the material items are not my God, I'm not going to refuse if it comes in my path. At the same time, I'm not going to bust my behind missing out on life, working some jobs that don't pay me, or focusing on a business that doesn't give me a return, to miss out on the human exchange. That's not going to happen, right? I want the experience now. I have busted my behind and given away much of my resources and much of my life to other people who don't even give a damn about what I'm all about or how I feel or what I'm going after, but I've only been good to them. So now this time is for me. And when I say for me, for this, to bring us like-minded people together, sisters and brothers and kindred spirits who we understand who we are, just like meeting my new friend Gifty. It is what it is. Now, please don't put anything over that, saying you out there picking up women, trying to talk to them like you're going to put them on YouTube, but you're really trying to get to bed with them. There's always going to be some smart ass who gets in the comment section and says whatever. People are energy. And I don't care who you are. If your energy is agreeable to me, and I feel at home with your energy, and I'm going to say it, we know the pink parasites of this planet, what's in their DNA. But if your energy toward me is right, and you are black, and your energy is not good toward me, you think I'm going to take you because you're black, just on color alone? That's really skin deep and shouldn't be skin deep because of our melanin. We have a different energy about us. But if you're so caught up in your low vibrational degraded state, I am not accepting you into my circle just because you're black. You can be anything. Be progressive and be a person who can communicate. Don't, like right now, I cannot accept people who are constipated in the verbal department, who can't express themselves, who are so choked up you gotta wait 10 years before they realize that they were wrong on something to come and apologize to you or whatever. You sit there and I'm not waiting for you. I'm gonna meet the gifties of the world and have a good time. You gotta pry information out of people, right? That's a city bus back there behind me that I like. I've been on that one before. It doesn't run as frequent, but I'm like, man, I'm out of home out here. I feel like jumping behind that bus and driving it, yeah? Not really, but yeah. Don't look at the packaging, look at the content. A lot of wonderful packages have come into my life in a plain brown wrapper. And there are many packages that have come to me that I was so excited to open up because of the wrapping that came in it. But when you open it up, it's nothing of note. And we're not talking monetary value, we're talking about the proper righteous energy that's there. And that's what we have to see. So when the packages come, it could be a really nice present. If the packaging is nice, it could still be. It doesn't mean I'm gonna go against you if your packaging is right. But you gotta show me a little more than the outward. I gotta take time and dig deep, right? So I'm gonna wrap it up on this level. And I just wanna say, I didn't even know I was gonna be out here this long. I think I said 20 minutes tops. But anyway, much love to my sisters, salute to my warrior brothers. It's about the energy, it's about consciousness and spirituality, which is higher than consciousness, but it's about building the melanated community, not just because you are melanated, I'm gonna accept you. You can be a criminal and have melanin. You can be evil and have melanin, right? It's what you're using your melanin for. So if you do have that righteous energy about you, I'm all for you. That's the infrastructure that I want to build. That's the community that I want to build. Those are the hospitals that I want to help build, even though I don't know how to build a hospital. And again, before I go, I have to say this. Let's invest in things with ourselves that are already in progress. Don't always think you have to build everything from the ground up. I built this platform and website and all this stuff. That's easy to do over the years to create content, which is hard for some people. But if I get a broken leg, am I gonna say, I'm not going to the hospital, I'm gonna go to school, learn how to be a doctor that can heal this thing and set it right and build me a hospital? I might take my whole life to do that just for that? No. Get up with the hospital. So with businesses, I want to connect with businesses here and all over the world that are already in progress that may see some value in what I bring. Human nature. On the graphics tip, on the writing tip, on the artwork tip, on the run of my mouth tip and making things interesting if you think so. Bring the things you have to offer and enhance something that's already there where you only want a part of what you bring to the table so it is mutually beneficial. So if you have $100,000, right? And my expertise in our business relationship brings you an extra 20. But I only spent 1 week with you sharing what I know. Well, if you want to give me 7 or 8 or whatever, we're not going to say, well, that's too low. I'm not going to say, give me 25 and I just brought you 20. I brought you an extra 20, but you already had the situation already there. So how can I expect you to give me all your $100,000 because I brought you 20? And it was quick for me. I didn't have to build your platform. I didn't have to build your hospital. I didn't have to build your restaurant. I didn't have to build your nightclub or your construction business or whatever it may be. So if I enhanced it, something that's going to be there even if it wasn't there, enhanced it, give me a percentage of that enhancement. As a matter of fact, give me a percentage, not just in dollar, I'll take less money. Give me a percentage of that business. So I can have interest in something coming back from that business aside from the immediate return that so many years from now, if I say give me 3% interest in your business, and you say that's little, and I worked with you a couple times, but I didn't have to bring money to the pot. I brought my expertise, and you say, well, 3%, well, maybe 5%, whatever you want to argue about, and I'm going to try to get the maximum. But if for the rest of my life I can enjoy a return on that energy that I gave out, it's better than getting paid one time. So me here now, I do have a pension. It's not $1 million. I'm set that way in this system as long as it lasts. But am I looking for a payday out here? A payday is not going to do anything for me because it's a once and done situation, right? I want something where there's interest for the future. So it's nice if I go and cut your grass and you pay me one time. I'll still do it because I got to have cash flow to keep going. I have no problem with that. But when it comes time to having an opportunity, that's what I really want out here in Ghana. I don't just want to get money, pay money, get money, pay money. You're not going anywhere like that. I want opportunity to be a part of something bigger that will last into the future, that will pay me in a residual manner because of what I did long before. And most people don't think that because we're thinking survival. So this is why I have to pick and choose those individuals around me. And even though Sister Gifty told me where she works, and I'm going to meet her here tomorrow for our conversation, she spotted something different in me. I spotted something different in her. And I loved what I saw. And I want to work with that, whatever it may be. There are brothers that I see wonderful things in that I'm going to work with them because of what I see in them long term. Not just, okay, I do this, I cut your grass, I build this in your yard, and it's done. Now I'm sitting here like, okay, this money's done, because it's not just a money thing. Because when you have passive income coming out, or residual income coming to you, and you're thinking for the future, that's how you build wealth. I just don't want to be some rich guy. And so this is my mentality. I will give it all up to feed into what I'm doing. Because usually, like I said, when the donation comes, and I'm appreciative of that, and when I earn from what I do from the past to the present, I feed into this. I don't look to walk around with a pocket full of money. I'm not looking to merely build a bank account that does nothing, because you're supposed to put your money to work for you. I'm not saying leave yourself at zero where you're broke, but when you get money, you're supposed to put it to work for you and leverage for you. So with me, what do you think? I just spent for a program that I won't mention what it is, but if I told you the price and merely what it does, you'll say, man, why'd you spend that much money? But for the rest of my life, it's going to be leverage to help me create content faster. And guess what? It's a tax write-off with the American situation, because I'm here, but I have American citizenship, and that's why I have to pay taxes to. And when I establish my business here, I got to work it out with the Ghanaian government. So I think long term. Also, I can give that program away to those who are seeking to do better. So not only is it a tax write-off that I will get back, I can be a blessing to someone else, because they say within the next 21 days, you know, you can download it to as many things as you want and download it to a device, external hard drive. But guess what? After them 21 days, you didn't pay that money, you can't download it no more. So I want to bless as many people with it. This is not going to hurt me. It's not going to hurt my candle to light as many candles as I possibly can, right? It's not. But again, I already said goodbye and so long, but I started talking again. I'm just looking for any excuse to be. I really, really, really love it up here. And when I do come back, I will give different angles. I'm gonna leave the camera right here where it is, but I'm gonna give different angles. But it's just, I don't know, I feel so free and light in my spirit. And I can say it's not about money. It's not about anything else. And it's not even really about Africa. It can't be about Africa if I'm not feeling good on the inside. How many people have come to the motherland thinking, yes, it's a new start, or move to another state in America? Man, I'm just knocking this tripod, getting this on, my hands are moving. Or go to another state in America and think that I'm gonna be new when I get there, when you got the same old thoughts, same old insecurities, same old stuff. So me being the master of being reborn and what's the word I'm looking for? Not restructuring, but becoming this new person again with the old stuff. I'm the same person, but I know how to come back alive, like the caterpillar turns into the butterfly. I've done that so many times. Now look at me here. I'm in this crowded street in the Adenta area of Accra, Ghana, in another country, on the equator, feeling freer than when I was in Orlando, Florida, in a country that I was born, even though I was born and raised in New York City. It shows you. It's not just the place, which the place is really nice because it's a whole new streets and new people I can talk to and blend with. And that's given me a new life. Coming here has added on about 25 to 30 years of my life, you know? And because I've already done the work of realizing what was around me, what energies I should allow around me, which ones I can see, you'll be right close to me, but I'm not letting you in my world, and the state of my mind, that makes a big difference. So I want to continue to cleanse, continue to be positive, and to know that your best version is ahead of you, to know that it's coming. And on that note, I want to say much love to you. Thank you for spending this hour and 12 minutes with me. And I look forward to speaking to you again. Thank you so much. Lancescurv out, on to the next one. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace out.